is a day to be fresh. It's a day to kick off what you're doing. It's a day to celebrate the fact that you kicked the blankets off, got into the shower or a bath or whatever, and made your way to wherever you are now to make sure that your hustle does not stop and to make sure that whatever it is that you're pushing gains traction because you are committed to it. Congratulations to you. You are already on a winning streak for the week. Moments in Current Affairs brought to you by Keith Ngesi Radio. The Department of Education has assured learners that no one will be disadvantaged. The spokesperson for the Basic Education Department, Elijah Mhlanga, said that the life orientation is assessed in the main by the teacher in the classroom. Mhlanga explained that just 20% of the content is assessed through the Common Assessment Task, the CAT, which is set by the Basic Education Department and marked by the teacher at school. Who sets the paper? Well, Mhlanga said that the CAT was set by a panel of LO experts. This comprised of teachers and subject advisors, internally moderated by an expert and externally moderated by Quality Assurance Council. He said that the prescripts of the CAPS and the life orientation examination guidelines outline the scope and depth of content to be taught and examined. This was followed by examining a panel. Now, it is, however, common knowledge that despite all these measures to set a test or a question paper that is of the prescribed standard and appropriate for grade 12 learners, the standard of the question paper and its appropriateness can only be accurately determined after it is written by the learners that is intended to assess. Mhlanga advised the learners and parents to not be distracted by these social media posts and be assured that the interests of the learners will always be held and protected. The Cape Town police shot and killed 2 alleged armed robbers in Epping on Sunday afternoon on the 11th of September. 5 suspects were arrested, 4 of which were seriously wounded in the shootout. An unknown number of suspects managed to escape and remain at large. SAPS spokesperson Sergeant Wesley Twigg said a substantial amount of cash was taken from a hypermarket in Epping on Sunday afternoon. Cases of armed robbery and attempted murder have been opened. Upon exiting the business, the alleged suspect realized that the presence of police, they fired several shots at the police and fled in 2 vehicles. Crime Intelligence K9 and flying squad members returned fire and chased after the suspect. The alleged robbers lost control of the car, crashed into a stationary vehicle. The 2 suspects died, and 4 others aged between 23 and 41 were apprehended and taken to the hospital where they are under police guard. 2 firearms were discovered in a vehicle. Meanwhile, a 32-year-old suspect was apprehended close to the premises of the business. The suspect in the second vehicle fled in the direction of Langa. The vehicle was later found abandoned and a manhunt is currently underway. Catholic Bishop Stembele Sipuka says gender-based violence should be called what it is, femicide, and its actions not summits or slogans that will bring an end to the endemic abuse and murder of South Africans' women. Women's Month in August has come and gone. In August, the scourge of gender-based violence and femicide receives prominent attention. Then it all goes quiet, unless, of course, another woman is raped or murdered. Bishop Stembele Sipuka, the Catholic Bishop of Mthatha and President of the South African Catholic Bishops' Conference, warns that fighting this scourge must be seen as a long agenda for our country because it is endemic and will not just talk by talking. While August was initially meant for the upliftment of women, it has practically turned into a month of bewailing violence against women because of the ever-increasing rate of violence and women femicide. The bishop wrote in a letter to the diocese in August. A year later, Bishop Sipuka, reflecting on the continuing horrific crimes against women, says we should call gender-based violence what it is: women's violent abuse and murder. He's not wrong. He's definitely not wrong. 25 minutes now after 9 a.m. For any mom-to-be, a baby shower is a lovely way of spending time with loved ones while celebrating the new life that is on the way. It appears not all mummies are grateful for people's presence, but rather care a lot about people's presence. A young mom has gone viral on social media after she shared a clip of herself literally chasing guests away who didn't bring gifts along with them. In an Instagram post, the woman in question asks her followers whether or not she was wrong when she asked people to leave, a question which she received mixed reactions to. One great thing about baby showers is receiving gifts for your baby that make your life a lot easier. Getting gifts, however, shouldn't be your main concern, since the shower is about celebrating the new life you are about to welcome into the world and not so much about getting the free goodies. One mom definitely begs to differ after she went as far as to kick shower guests with no gifts out of her event. Taking to Instagram, the young mom with the username Early and Tia asked her followers if she was wrong for asking guests who didn't bring gifts to leave. She also shared the video of herself interrupting her boyfriend while he was thanking guests for coming and playing a role in the shower. Before he could finish his train of thought, she added that not everyone contributed and some even came empty-handed. Unable to hold herself back, she also said, "And if you didn't bring a gift, you can get up and go." Yikes. Anyway, that does happen, I guess. At the EFF's People's Assembly, leader Julius Malema warned that the party could not fight against corruption if if its leadership become part of the politics, the palace politics, and the corrupt elite. The problem of corruption in South Africa seems to have found its way into the EFF. Particularly in Gauteng, leader Julius Malema said in a keynote address at the party's third provincial assembly on Sunday, the 11th of September, yesterday. After a new provincial leadership had been elected, Malema said in his speech, "We have a problem of corruption in South Africa, and we've started to have a problem of corruption in the EFF now. When people are sent to the leadership of the EFF who are leading in regions, provinces, and all of that, people will demand money in exchange for helping those people with whatever problems they are confronted with." In one instance, he said, a party researcher had been allegedly hired without an interview or knowledge of EFF members and caucus. Over the past few months, the EFF has embarked on a drive to recruit 1 million members by the end of the year. Malema said it was disturbing that some regions had failed to meet their campaign targets, but urged them to do so after the assembly. Well, corruption rears its ugly head once again. Africa Melane spoke with Benedict Piri, who is the managing director at Luz Presidentia Specialist Council. The return to office of Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane in Pretoria might not likely happen despite the Western Cape High Court ruling. The Western Cape High Court ruled on Friday that the suspension of Mkhwebane by Cyril Ramaphosa was invalid. The High Court added that the suspension might have been a retaliatory move by the president following a letter sent to him containing questions relating to Phala Phala farm burglary. Piri added that the acting public protector, Kollega Galega, had the right to bar Mkhwebane to access to the office. If she did show up to her office today, the acting public protector and her team would be well within their rights not to allow her into the office. The Constitutional Court has the sole power to confirm whether the conduct of the President Cyril Ramaphosa is unconstitutional, and this confirmation is necessary. Benedict Piri is therefore the one who brought this news forward, and it should be interesting to see Anyanike if Advocate Mkhwebane does go to the office today. Very interesting. Springbok fly half Elton Jantjies faces a second scandal this year after being sent home from Argentina following revelations of an affair with a staff member. Elton Jantjies' career is unraveling at an alarming rate. The World Cup winner was on Sunday sent home from Argentina after the revelations of an affair with a member of the Springbok management emerged in the Sunday newspaper. According to a detailed account, Jantjies spent several nights in 2 luxury guest houses in and around Mbombela with Bok nutritionist Zinat Simji. Jantjies is married to Eva Ristic, and the couple have 3 young children. While the alleged infidelity won't sit well with some people, the major issue in this incident is not about the private issues between Yankees and his wife, but about him allegedly failing to pay his bill at one of the establishments. There were also complaints of loud arguments and the sound of breaking furniture. The Springbok management are aware of the reports regarding Springbok fly half Elton Yankees and team dietitian Zinat Simji between a training camp in Sabi and the test match against New Zealand in Bombela earlier on this year. No team protocols were breached, but the individuals are returning to South Africa to attend to these personal reports and to eliminate any distractions to the team's preparation for the test against Argentina. Devastating views of people's houses on the brink of collapse due to illegal mining was just some of the discoveries made by members of 3 parliamentary portfolio committees during an oversight visit in Limpopo. The province is the second after Gauteng to be visited by the Parliamentary Committee of Home Affairs, Mineral Resources and Energy and Police in response to the rapes of 8 women at a mine dump in Krugersdorp on the West Rand over a month ago. Acting chairman of the Portfolio Committee for Police, Knox Seyabi, said that upon visiting the community at Steelport near Burgersford, they realized the residents were at the mercy of illicit mining activities. The team visited around areas around Limpopo's mineral-rich Sekhukhune district, which is surrounded by major mining companies that produce chrome, platinum, and gold. They say that we have found the people were even digging inside people's houses. It's a disaster the way it is. Those houses we suspect will collapse at any time. He said residents also complained about living in fear of being attacked and raped each time the electricity supply to residential houses gets disrupted by Zamazamas, who use the electricity to process the minerals. Sayabi said it also appeared that the operations were not only carried out by foreign nationals, but also South Africans who claimed they were forced to mine illegally due to a lack of access to licensing from the Department of Mineral Resources and Energy. The portfolio committees are expected to compile a report and hand it over to the government to come up with a response to illicit mining activities across the country. 28 minutes now before 10 a.m. Still on the news. The net is being tightened around the suspects of Soweto's Tavern massacre. They have been placed on Interpol's wanted list, and Gauteng Police Commissioner Elias Mawela says they cannot evade arrest now. 5 suspects are on the run in neighboring countries. 16 people were killed in the July shooting. These people are going to be brought to book, whether they like it or not. Finally, and further afield in our beautiful continent of Africa, when Rachel made an appointment for a pap smear, she didn't expect to feel neglected. While she knew it would be a long wait, the doctor left without seeing her. This receptionist actually tried to stop the GP, but the GP's like, no, I'm done for the day. I was so discouraged, she says. Now, a colleague suggested she see a medical professional with an African background. When I got this GP who looks like me, she was helpful. I thought like someone actually listens where they're coming from. Access to culturally appropriate care is an issue that doctors are working to address. The Australian Human Rights Commission has stated that the lack of access prevents Africans from seeking treatment. It has produced African Health, a network of medical professionals of African background ranging from GPs to psychologists to dentists. They say we aim to engage with community to improve health literacy and shed some of the fear, discomfort in going to seek healthcare, says the director of African Health, Dr. Alum Sheila Uyiworth. Now, people tend to feel safe when they can approach a member of the healthcare sitting and are from a particular background. Most doctors are on the service are based in the state of New South Wales, but the directors of the organization are planning to extend its reach across Australia and New Zealand and provide even more health resources. In future, we want to provide more and more health workshops where community members can get together and actually have an opportunity to ask questions and with health professionals, says Dr. Oyekan John. That brings us to the conclusion of our moment in current affairs. Please do stick around. This is Moment of Truth, and we are going to be doing this until 12 o'clock together. Good morning, Tembisa Kaikiana. She said, hi, dear. I'm saying hi, dear, right back to you. Good morning, and thank you for making Moment of Truth your 9 to 12 destination. You could have been anywhere, but this is where you chose to be, and for that, we are eternally grateful.